Pointers. Every computer, at the unreachable memory address 0x1, stores a secret. I found it, and it is that all humans are segmentation fault. Title text, every computer, at the unreachable memory address 0x1, stores a secret. I found it, and it is that all humans are segmentation fault. Explanation. This comic is about a play on the dual meaning of the word pointer. Q-Ball is playing a video game, but he seems to be stuck. So he asks Black Hat for a few tips pointers to progress in the game. Black Hat is, as usual, annoying, so he spits out a couple of seemingly random 32-bit hexadecimal addresses, which are pointers in a programming language. These pointers are used to access a certain location in the computer's memory in order to fulfill a task. However, this would not be helpful in improving his playing the game the normal way, though see below, by perhaps learning of a better weapon loadout, or a quicker route to achieve some mission goal. Ultimately, Q-Ball is then annoyed at Black Hat for not answering his question in a useful manner. A segmentation fault, as referred to in the title text, is a result by accessing invalid memory addresses. If you define a pointer to an invalid address, then try to access the memory location associated with it, you could end up with this exception. The hexadecimal address 0x1 is definitely invalid, because it's out of range. If you treat pointers as signed numbers, it points below the lowest address, 0, if you treat them as unsigned, meaning the numbers wrap around, so -1 is the same as the highest address, 0xFFFFFFFF on a 32-bit system. If it's pointing at any object larger than a byte, most of that object is past the highest address. So, this is a hidden location, but as soon as you try to read more than 1 byte at that location, you will get a seg fault. The title text states that Randall has found a secret value hidden at that location anyways, but before he can reveal its apparently existential meaning, a seg fault cuts him off to prevent him from doing so. The ending letters of the pointers are spelling, reading top to bottom, the word ace. As Q-Ball is playing a game, Black Hat could be additionally saying that he's an ace of the game. Alternate explanation. ACE also stands for arbitrary code execution. This is a class of glitches, often found in things like video games. Pointers are often used to cheat in games and do things like change the amount of money you have, and are usually necessary to achieve ACE, if Q-Ball was prepared and able to directly change the source code, though there is insufficient detail given as to whether these are perhaps memory locations to change to patch with different data values or alternate data pointers to be placed somewhere unknown, either of which could change the game in ways that make it easier to play, such as making more bonus items available, or by removing confounding gameplay features. An example would be if the first pointer was a location in memory the game accidentally ran code from during a common crash condition, that could be controlled by the player, like the number of items in their inventory, or the horizontal location of some Koopas earlier in the level. The second was an address for a jump, and the third was something much more controllable, like the input from the controller. A strategy like this has been used to achieve many effects in games like Super Mario World and Ocarina of Time. Examples would be credits warps, which would be much easier than playing the game, especially time-wise, or programming another game into the original game, which, while more complicated, might be used to program in an easier game. The pointers Black Hat tells him could also be cheat codes, which are sanctioned methods of changing the gameplay. They are built into the normal game interface for testing purposes, perhaps accidentally left in, upon release, and or provided as Easter eggs for the players to experience different levels of non-vanilla gameplay. If these are indeed useful cheat codes, their complexity, and the fact that Black Hat can recite them verbatim without looking them up, presumably being very familiar with their use, would give an extra reason for Q-Ball to hate him. Transcript. Cueball is playing a video game, with Black Hat standing behind him. Cueball, man, I suck at this game. Can you give me a few pointers? Black Hat, 0x3A28213A 0x6339392C, 0x7363682E. Cueball, I hate you. Trivia. In xkcd, Volume 0, the pointers are different. They are, in order, 0x4b65792, 0x6f66383A, and 0x73cd4542. Discussion. The issue date is definitely off. Can anyone fix this? Richtof Talk 1416, August 3, 2012 UTC. Done. Yes, anyone can fix this. Divad 27182 Talk 1849, February 23, 2013 UTC. Wait until he finds out their codes for that old saving system. 2142, June 3, 2013 UTC. Or perhaps the Black Hat is answering the question but in an obscure way. The addresses might be pointing to the locations where the game keeps its important information such as the score count or the level, so it can be cheated by changing the data at these locations. Okay, I understand that it is etiquette not to edit other people's comments, but he wanted to underline is so I did it for him. Beanie Talk 1104, March 17, 2021 UTC. The problem with 0x1 is not that it's missing digits, it's that the memory in the computer is represented as a closed loop. So if you try to go back to the cell before the first cell, you will really access the last cell. 0x1 really equals to 0xffffffff in the 32-bit address space. Evidently, Cueball had found a way around this, only it didn't quite work out. People deeply interested in the workings of the pointers should also read about the memory protection modes and alignment requirements, both of which might interfere with reading from the address 0xffffffff. 108.162.246.50033, January 28, 2014 UTC. Cueball could be playing a card game, e.g. solitaire, and Black Hat could be telling him to play the ace. In a rather obscure way, though. 141.101.81.225 August 25, 2014 UTC. Hidden message: the three pointers spell, in ASCII. C99, ich. Does this make any sense? The last line looks like German. 108.162.254.97701, October 8, 2014 UTC. The last one is German. It means I. 141.101.104.88 Talk. Please sign your comments with. No, you got the ASCII wrong. 73 is S, not I. C99, SCH. Jörg Brown Talk 1949, February 4, 2015 UTC. I think that the title text is a Matrix reference. All humans are being kept in a dream world so that their our comatose cadavers can be used to generate electricity. Red Hat Guy 68 Talk 255, October 18, 2015 UTC. Regarding the last letters, in the TAS-bot stuff I lead we often refer to the act of taking complete control of a game as an arbitrary code execution, or an ace. However, the term was somewhat obscure at the time this comic was released. TAS-bot content didn't become well known until 2015, so I don't think it's likely enough to put in the main explanation. 172.68.142.149 2034, November 2, 2017 UTC. Dwango AC. I moved the title text explanation to the main one. Seems to make more sense that way. Don't Know Talk 2335, April 17, 2017 UTC. The pointers are different in xkcd, Volume 0. I added that in along with the trivia section. 172.69.135.86335, October 9, 2020 UTC. The pointers in xkcd, Volume 0 when converter to ASCII read. Key 2. Of 8, Seb. The 3GS Talk 2333, November 3, 2020 UTC. 0xcd is not an ASCII character as it has the high bit. 162.158.103.136 April 10, 2022 UTC. I believe the ASCII converter used didn't discard the high bit and just converted it byte by byte. I believe this is why I appeared, given that N205 corresponds to I. 172.68.50.204 1437, December 8, 2022 UTC.